Good evening, one. Good evening, all, and welcome to Grid Vision. Hey, it's the OB Builders Cup Series, which means it's Thursday night, and we are live here for the Pioneer Iowa Speedway 200. Race 23 out of 36 here. We're cruising through this series. It's looking fantastic out here at Iowa. And Sheldon and I and the whole crew, well, we're going to fly down in from the satellite, and we're going to tell you all about it. Sheldon, how you doing this week?
Pretty good. Always excited to come here and cover a race from Iowa. This is certainly one of my favorite tracks on the surface in real life. And reason why is, it's a D-shaped short track, which, me being a big fan of Richmond, with that being the home track, this place kind of leans into guys that can run well around there, as well as the fact you get that variable banking up to the top. A lot of different opportunities to set up passes, a lot of different opportunities to choose different lanes. Pretty much the whole track is your oyster here.
That's what I like to hear. And Mr. Austin Darbyshire is bringing up all those lovely graphics on screen for you folks. So be sure to remember to hit the like and subscribe button as we talk a little bit about last week's race results. Let's see what happened here. PB Henry crossed the line to win it all with Patrick Gitter and Tyler Hunter in the 1-2-3 here in the Team Birdie Racing 250 last week. So it looks like PB Henry's got the momentum coming into Iowa. It's a bit of a smaller track here. We were just talking about that. It's only 0.88 miles around. Let's look at the league standings real quick, though. Brandon Pasalacqua is still leading things out in top, only 10 points ahead of Paul Hill. Justin Levine in third, Evan Say in fourth, and last champion, PB Henry, is in fifth right now, crawling his way up toward the top.
Yeah, everything getting pretty close up there at the front. How about the climb through the field this season, too, for Levine? Feels like everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. He's now sitting there third in points. Depending on how everybody else's season goes from here on out, he could be sitting there in the catbird seat before this thing's over and done with.
That's very true. It has been a climb to the top, but in the meantime, let's get some tips for climbing those rungs in this race tonight.
Well, I know I say it every week, but key number one is going to be tire management. There's been a lot of tire blowouts this week here at Iowa as the runs have gone on. You see that dark black pavement there through 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 kind of really allows you to burn these softer compound tires a little bit quicker than we have at other tracks on this same compound. So you really want to take care of it. Second off, you're just going to keep the thing planted down there by that white line on the bottom of the track. It's, same things that work at Richmond work really well here. You want to keep as much load on the right side as possible, so you just kind of glue that left side of the paint and kind of takes and forces the car to rotate a little bit easier without really beating up the tires too much. And then finally, getting those final stages, man, it's just going to be all about keeping the car in one piece. No mistakes. One mistake here on pit road or really anywhere that costs you a little bit of time, it's going to come back and bite you pretty quick because the lap times here are tremendously quick.
All right. Hey, that's some fantastic advice, my friend. And now if anybody listening has driven around Iowa, you've got some experience already to bring to the table. So mix that with what you just heard. And why don't you give us your opinion on how these guys are doing there in the chat? Right now, though, let's break it down. First things first, the crispy C7 pole position. That's going to go to Mr. Evan Say with the 22.884 out there in front with PB Henry right there on the outside. Luis Becerra is going to be third in line with Maverick Davis in fourth. Third row, Adam Benefiel in fifth with Keegan Sabilo looking good in sixth. Brandon Pasalacqua is in seventh with Brian Johnson in eighth. Shane Clore is going to be in ninth with Paul Gallimore driving for BMP in 10th.
Going off the grid in 11th, a great qualifying spot here for the 18 machine of Alexander Carr with Paul Hill up top in 12th. 13th going to be the 14 machine of Kevin Ruff with Joshua Hyatt starting 14th. 15th place on the grid, the 25 machine of Greg Carr with Jose Medina starting 16th. 17th place going to be the 64 machine of Russell Black with Chad Kibbe in the 45 and 19th. Rounding out the top 20 here is going to be the 88 machine of Joseph Causey.
And let's break down what we got left. 21, it's Tim Wortman Jr. with Kenny Powell on the outside. Daniel Wiles in 23rd with Justin Levine, 24th. No qualifying time there. Austin Nedstrom in 25th and Michael Filguera in 26th. Oh, right. Want to make sure that you guys are aware we actually have a different starting grid sponsor. Want to keep you up to date with that. Here it is brought to you by Thomas Mullins. Yes, the Thomas Mullins Pole Award. It was not the Crispy C7 there. Thomas Mullins Pole Award. Going to be going to Evan Say there. Had a little bit of a graphical hitch, but we are back.
Oh, we got 2 laps of green before they kick this thing off. Joe, who you feeling good about here tonight?
Oh, man. Looking at the field, PB Henry is sitting in second right now and in 5th overall points. I know that he is a champion. He's a champion level driver, and he's sitting there right now in a really, really good spot up there on the outside for this start. So I'm going to go with PB Henry.
PB Henry, great pick. A lot of good momentum after the big win at Indy last week. Been putting together some really good drives this season. All those CFM Chevrolets have been really good, though, too. You can't count on Evan C. down there in the bottom lane. I mean, when you think about this track, you think about multiple different grooves, a lot of opportunities to work. I think that 333 machine's pretty good. But, not to sound like I'm repeating myself too much here, though, as well. I mean, it's going to be a toss-up, too, though. Adam Benefield, Keegan Sabilo, both tremendous short track talents at a track that comes down to severe tire wear and tire management. And I know one thing, when it comes to a track where you really got to keep those good years alive, that 83 machine down there, that blue Team Conti Sim Performance Chevrolet, that's going to be one you're going to keep your eyes on here at the end of the run as well.
And we absolutely will as we come down to the BK Design start zone here. Everybody's ready. I'm sure there's an itchy foot right there under Evan Say, but he's got a lot of talent stacked up right behind him. And this track being just under a mile, we're going to be seeing these guys mix it up over and over again. We're doing 230 here around, folks. Iowa Speedway, 200 miles coming right up. Let's go, go, go.
Good clean launch for the 333 machine of Evan C. Down into turn 1. He's going to have about a half a car length on PB Henry up top. One machine, Louis Becerra stuck on the bottom, gets a little loose there with the 15 of Maverick Davis up to the bumper here down the back straightaway.
Yeah, Maverick is using the whole track there. You see he's going from the top line to
he
the
gives him the
bottom
bumper.
line.
Davis to the back of Becerra early here through 3 and 4. Luckily, not too dicey, but just the slightest bit of touch there.
Little bit. We still got some 2-wide racing, though, going on in the back there. We've got Shane Clore with Brian Johnson in the Pioneer car. Clore makes a little bit of a breakaway. Johnson's leading things just a bit ahead of Paul Gallimore and Alexander Carr. Still side by side there, unable to make a move. Gallimore is stuck on the outside.
Side by side, Gallimore working the top line, trying to get past the machine of Alexander Carr. Carr, though, one of the best qualifying efforts he's had here this season outside Super Speedway, is really looking pretty racy in the early stages. He tries to get past your Daytona winner, but Gallimore going to use that top line there to his advantage, pull ahead a little bit as he gets to the right rear quarter pound now with the Ford machine.
Yeah, he's got the speed now. Ooh, bad bump there
big
for
wiggle
Johnson as Gallimore. Yeah, you see that?
Yeah, Johnson just got real loose coming out of the corner. He had Alexander Carr press up against the rear spoiler, and it just took the tires out from underneath him. Now Alexander Carr going to shoot around the outside. He's going to get past both of them here potentially as he now goes toe-to-toe with Paul Gallimore to 3.
Yeah, that bump cost Johnson a little bit, but it gave Gallimore everything that he needed. But now Carr, wow, okay, high on the outside. He takes that spot. Ooh, tries to come down almost right into Gallimore, but Gallimore gives him just a little bit of room now. Without giving up anything himself, it looks like. So Carr now out and away, about a car length ahead of Paul Gallimore. Looking ahead in the field once again towards the front. Things are straightening out a little bit. A lot of single file racing. But the only man we've got high on the outside right now is Joshua Hyatt.
Another guy starting to tiptoe his way through the field a little bit here. That 26 machine of Paul Hill. Remember, spent week 4 last with us up here in the booth after a little bit of a suspension, but back in here trying to get those points back to possibly get the points lead again. He's already up to 11th spot now as we got battle for 4th.
Battle for 4th kicking off here. Benefield in the lead now, or not in the lead, in 4th now. And we were just talking about Benefield earlier, man. He is a short track magician. So there's going to be some interesting, I think there's going to be some interesting racing going on for the duration of this race.
Let's see if we can watch what Adam's doing right now from the drone camera.
Mm-hmm.
Because what he's doing right now, it's the secret on these short tracks, especially here in Richmond. Or the blimp, my bad. Or, sorry, the Far Chase. That's the one I was looking for. Sorry about that, Darby.
I was gonna say the the far chase.
Well, apparently they've stolen
Okay.
cameras from us here this week, but we can get the maybe the roof. I don't know. We're spitballing here.
Yeah, it's all right. I think I see what we're trying to do. There we go. This would be a good look there. Let's see on that for Benefield here.
And I want to go with the roof camera here just so you can see how aggressively close he's coming to the flat of the apron here. See him load the car into turn 3. He
Whoa.
gets it all the way down there to the paint. Same way you would see anybody run a local short track on a Saturday night. And that right there, doing that paint has a little bit of extra grip in it than the actual asphalt itself. You see the seam right there. You see the paint. If you get that left side tire on there, it really helps that left side hook up and helps
Wow.
that car rotate just a little bit better. It's not a night and day difference, but over, a 30, 40 lap run, you're using just a little bit less load on the right sides, and that allows you to carry just a little bit more longevity of the tires. And at the end of a 30 lap stint, 40 lap stint, that car is going to be absolutely flying compared to everybody else.
That's wonderful. That's some good thinking. And excellent. I love that. We driving in a simulator like this, we can expect experiences like that to really actually provide a different experience for a driver like Benefield to take advantage of. And here he's doing it perfectly. Wow, you called it like Babe Ruth pointing at the outfield. He is driving that line as low as he can.
I'm normally the last person in the world to toot their own horn, but this is one of maybe 3 or 4 tracks that every year that I've come here and ran, I've just had tremendous amounts of success regardless of the equipment I've been running under. And that's just always been the secret to it here in Richmond. You just get that thing down on the paint, Bristol too, and it keeps you alive just a little bit longer and gives you a little bit more option once you get later into the tires. So if you look back up at the front of the pack right now, Evan Seed up to a 0.5 of a second lead over his CFM teammate there, PB Henry, running P2 right now. And these guys, they were the ones that pretty much determined the show at Indianapolis week 4 last. Both cars unloaded real quick, started on the front row. It's much like we see here today. Just the only difference was the positions were flip-flopped as PB Henry's the one to come across the line with the victory.
Right now, Say is flying 0.5 of a second ahead. And then there's a little pack of 3 right there with PB Henry, Luis Pizzera, Adam Benefield looking really good together. A little bit of a gap there, and Keegan Sabilo then leading the rest of the pack as they all try to make their way back up. If Sabilo can make up to that gap to Benefield, the whole pack's going to go with him. But right now he's about almost how far back is he? About 0.7 of a second? Yeah, about 0.7 back.
Well, I'm not too worried right now though about Keegan though either, because Keegan and Adam both have a very similar drive style. Both very big proponents of the whole less is more, keep the tires alive as long as you can strategy. Now, you see a lot of guys, they're shifting up to 5th right now. Keegan, he's noticed that if he keeps that thing hammered down in 4th gear, just gets it on the chip, he can get to the bottom just a little bit easier in the corner. It's a little bit less tire temp being thrown into the right front because he doesn't have to brake as much. And I think what he's doing right now is he sees Adam, that's his proverbial carrot. You're not going to outsave these guys in front of you by trying to run with them, so just keep it easy and keep the car in one piece. Shane Clore now going out with Paul Hill. Paul Hill working the outside line here into turn 3, trying to get the momentum to get past. Paul Hill now up to the 9th spot as he gets a nose ahead here, and he's going to be able to clear at the start-finish line over the 72 machine of Clore. And going to get the pass completed here out of turn 2 for the Dent Slayer Toyota Camry.
Yeah, he's up 3 from where he started right now. He was on the grid 12th right now, sitting good in 9th.
That's a good sign for him, too, having that early run pace. It's going to be interesting to see how that pays
car
off
sideways
later,
in
but
the
we
back.
got a car
We got a
around.
yellow. Sorry for going over you there, you buddy. Yeah, I saw that car sideways, and I was like, ooh, who's that? Oh, that's Hyatt. Joshua Hyatt.
Bad luck continues there for the Team Birdie Chevrolet.
Oh, no. The bad luck continues.
See how it come out of turn 2 there. Not a self-clear. He was perfectly clear there. Brian Johnson goes up to the outside here through 3 and 4. Johnson gets up into the gray a little bit. That's a dodgy position there for the 4 machine. They Coming out of turn 4, he just gets loose, crosses up in front of the 4 machine, pulls the air off the spoiler, cracks the rear end around a little bit, and unfortunately Johnson just not able to lift in time.
Yep, flipped him right over the nose, unfortunately, there. Ended up being only a 1-car wreck, though, in that situation. But, ooh, maybe not. Yeah, that was a harder hit than I thought.
Yeah, and
What do you
unfortunately
think
for
the damage
Johnson,
was to
too.
the 4?
Unfortunately for Johnson, too. I mean, there's nothing you can do in that situation. You come out turn 4, he looks great, then next thing you know, he's throwing up smoke in front of you.
Yeah.
Only the slightest bit of damage
Yikes.
to the back end of the 2 machine. Taking a look right now to see how bad the 4 is. I'm expecting a little bit of right front splitter. Yeah, right front folded in pretty bad on the 4 machine, but nothing that they can't fix here on pit road.
We're taking a look right now. He's gone ahead and got his tires, and now he's getting the work done. Certainly we'll be able to pound that out before things are done for him right there. Brian Johnson sitting in 17th still on the tower. And here we got some guys leaving pit road.
Maybe a little bit of a roll of the dice on the strategy here, too.
Ooh. Brian
got
Johnson's
Benefield
still there.
Seville
Okay.
leading. I was busy looking at the replay, but I'm imagining they just decided to stay out.
Yeah. And so they did, yeah.
Possibly just gas and go.
Adam Benefield, Keegan Sabilo leading things here at Iowa Speedway.
Yeah, it looks like that might be
pitting.
the right call, too, because 13 cars stayed out there on that pit sequence. Evan C.,
Yeah.
who was your race leader, now sitting back in the 13th spot. B.B. Henry right behind him in 14th.
So the strategies are now split almost down the middle. 13 cars. We only had 29 cars start this race. So 13 cars all decided to stay out. Now we have a very split red versus blue, A versus B kind of situation here.
This could get dicey for some of those guys that came in on and took 4 fresh tires there, too, because you're going to be around cars that are, not as capable of running up towards the front of the pack here. And, some guys that may not have it entirely figured out. And couple that with the fact that they're on a disadvantage on those Goodyear Eagles, and that could spell a disaster here if you're not too careful.
That's very true. Sheldon, which team are you on? Team red or team blue? And look at this, Keegan and Benefield are red and blue.
I mean, 23 laps in with this tire package. I gotta double check to see how many sets they have on pit road, but
I was just saying in general, like when you're playing online games, are you team red or team blue?
oh, team red or team blue? Team orange for grid vision.
Diplomatic answer, my friend. Very diplomatic. As we're coming back around, Team Griff, we're coming back around here to get things started. You want to take it to the line?
Absolutely. As the iRacing pace car takes the dive down pit road, Anna Benefield, Keegan Sabila leading us into the restart zone. Back underway as they cross through the BK Designs restart zone. We get a car almost around into the grass. The 72 machine of Shane Clore. Great save. Side by side
Clore's
here for the
back.
race lead. Sabila going to lay back here. A little bit of 3-wide action. Justin Levine shoves his nose in the middle between the 14 machine as well as Jose Medina. Down through 3 and 4 of the 19. Opts to run the bottom lane here, letting these two figure it out in front. Meanwhile, Evan C. up on the outside lane now, trying to move through this pack. Remember, they came down, took 4 tires on that stop. The rest of the cars in front of them stayed out. Good launch through 1 and 2 there. Doesn't look like that tire benefit, though, is as strong as I thought it was going to be for these guys.
Ooh, yeah. Well, here comes Phoebe Henry. He just shot past.
Never mind. I guess he was waiting for him to come up.
There.
I guess he was just waiting for him to come up to pressure because Evan is now carving through the traffic here.
That makes sense. Yeah, it might have just been a moment or two there. Yeah, a lot of passing going on here. PB Henry now down on the inside, passes Maverick Davis for 4th.
I didn't even notice.
Davis.
PB must have had a incredible restart there because he is carved through the traffic here. PB Henry now down at the bottom trying to get past 3rd place. The 11 machine to Paul Gallimore. Gallimore lets the 95 have it. Here comes Passalacqua all the way down to the stripe as well to take that spot. Side by side for 2nd place now. PB Henry down to the bottom of the hill. Sabilo working the middle lane here. Keegan not going to try and fight it. Knows those tires are way better. Lets the 95 machine go. Now PB Henry with a demanding drive here after the pit sequence. Sitting here in second place, up to the top now to try and get past the 83 machine of Adam Benefield, and now PB Henry up to the lead.
Yeah, that's a mixture of like pure strategy and tenacity there. What a great drive out of PB Henry. We're barely 3 laps out from the restart of this race, and he moved up like how many positions? Like 10?
3 laps ago, he was in 14th.
Wow. Yeah, well done. Good drive there out of PB Henry.
Yeah, what I've said it multiple times this year, but PB Henry has absolutely figured it out this season.
Absolutely. And I want to also give props to the drivers who were able to, work with their tire situation and see those guys weaving their way through them. Like, this field has been holding on to its integrity very well as these guys have been filtering through, and some of these guys have made moves, but no one's made a move. Who else has been making moves? Evan Say now up to 4th.
Yeah, Evan got hung up. Something must have gone wrong there on that restart. Maybe the lane didn't go in front of him as well. Because he was in front of Pasalacqua as well as PB Henry there coming to the restart zone. And, he's kind of mired back there a little bit. I mean, he's getting past Adam Benefield. He's back into the same bracket as the cars that he was running around. But, lost a little bit more time than I was expecting. I thought he was going to carve through the traffic.
Well, he's in 3rd now. He's going to pass Brandon Pasalacqua potentially here. They're on the same tire situation, but it looks like Essay has got the momentum. Oh wait, I'm talking about Luis Becerra, who's a little bit back there. Becerra makes the pass on our man. Benefield is just falling back a little bit further and further. Becerra now has the same situation as Evan Say. There we go. So it's going to be harder for him to catch up in this situation. It's not going to be as much of a given as it's been in the situations where these guys who didn't pit were matched up against guys who are on fresh tires.
I had no idea Porky the Pig was going to join us up here in the booth tonight.
Oh, you got me. Ooh, okay, all right, okay, all right, okay, all right, okay.
I will say one thing, though. How about this night so far for Alexander Carr and the 18 machine? I mean, it has been a rocky up and down season for him. Last 2 seasons for him here in the OB Bears Cup Series, it's been pretty hit or miss. Some weeks, have some good moments happen here or there, followed by, just entire bouts where it feels like anything that can go wrong does go wrong. But really taking to the track the new aero package and putting together a really good performance right now. I mean, sitting in the 5th spot. Started this night off in 11th. It's been a good drive here for Alexander Carr.
Yeah, really good drive. Looking good. And yeah, you're right about the wheel of fortune when it comes to Alexander Carr. It's definitely been spinning during this series so far, but right now, fantastic positioning, great drive there, sitting in 5th at this position, 35 laps in out of 230, looking good.
Pasalacqua, your points leader, smelling the opportunity there, got to the inside of the 95 machine of PB Henry, tried to make a pass, wasn't able to make it stick into turn 1, though, had to feather off it a little bit. But that's 6 cars starting to come to life here.
And he's got 1 pit stop on PB Henry, I think. PB Henry did not stop in the last one. He did stop during the last one.
These cars came down.
They both did during the last one. Okay, I was just reading my chart here. PB Henry is looking good, but yeah, how do you think Pasalacqua closes the door here? Is it just a matter of driving a better line, or does Henry have to start making mistakes?
Look at the line Pasalacqua was running right now. You can see that he's got that car consistently filtered a little bit lower to the track here. He's taking a shallow entry in, getting down to the paint, doing exactly what I said works. Same thing that I've seen Conti come out here and completely destroy the field doing. I've seen Conklin come out here and destroy the field doing the same thing as well. I mean, it's just you get down there, you let those left sides hang on that paint as long as you can and just keep that tire alive. And I see PB up here at the front. He's running great laps. He's got a lot of pace right now, but I can't help but to imagine that, taking that wide arc in, letting the car slide up towards the wall so abruptly on exit, I feel like that might be heating those right sides up a little bit, just a little bit of extra tire scrub. That little bit extra goes a long way here. I mean, when we're talking about people blowing tires out all week, that it all adds up.
Absolutely good, sir. And there we go with Paul Hill right now. Look at this. Paul Hill makes a pass for 8th right now, high on the outside. He's leading Keegan Sabilo now, who gave him that spot. Didn't really give it to him, but Paul Hill made the pass on Sabilo, and now he's pulling away just a little bit from the red car. He's got to work his way up to Brian Johnson next, though. And then he's got Adam Benefield after that. So he has got himself a few hills to climb here.
Speaking of hills to climb, this night just got a lot more difficult for Joseph Cause. He had a connection issue there, and it kicked him out for upload packet loss. So Causey's rough night just gets a little bit rougher here because now he's going to come out a couple laps down.
Yeah, I was hoping he was going to be able to reconnect when I saw him disconnect there, and now he is back, but he is sitting pretty firmly there in last place. We'll see him get reconnected and see if who else One Sim has out there. They've still got Austin Edstrom out there driving in 15th right now. One Sim's also looking at Justin Levine in 11th. So they got a few guys out there who are doing all right, but yeah, bad for Joseph Causey.
Been a little bit of a cursed year for the One Sim guys. Showed a lot of pace here in the OB Builders Cup Series last year with Levine running the entire season in second and just about second in points. So he took a hiatus at the tail end of the year. Great success for Causey as well as Edstrom some weeks, and this year it's just, been a little bit rough for those guys. See the 26th machine of Paul Hill taking over spot here from the 4, Brian Johnson. That moves Paul up into the 6th spot.
Paul's going to take that, and he's going to work with it. And he has a long way to go right now. He is, was he actually, let's see, Paul Hill's distance to Alexander Carr.
So remember, Paul Hill was your series points leader from Circuit of the Americas all the way up till last week at Indy.
So he's got those chops.
The thing about Paul is
to get points.
The thing about Paul is he's not going to get out there. He's not going to get flashy. He's not going to run the risk of tearing the car up trying to get a good spot. But he will consistently crawl his way through the field from start to finish and manage to take maybe a car that's a little bit behind or a little bit off and get the most out of it.
I think that's a good way to describe him. Absolutely. And he's been doing really fantastic tonight so far, staying in the top 10, staying pretty relevant as far as we go. Now he still has a second, almost a full second to make up a distance here. 2.5 seconds to make up the distance between himself and Alexander Carr. So he's pretty far back there.
So back there, Justin Levine get past the 77 machine of Keegan Sabilo there for the 10th spot. Levine started just about shotgun on the field, decided not to qualify. A classic Justin standard here. Crawling through this traffic pretty well here tonight, though.
One thing he might benefit from, and one thing I'm sure that Paul Hill wants to see, is potentially a change in the traffic pattern.
And those two, Levine and Sabilo, are two entirely different drive styles.
Yes.
Whereas Keegan will, do everything he can to keep those tires alive, save as much as he can at any point during a race. Levine's thought process is, I paid for the set of tires, I'm going to use every last bit of it.
Yep. Yeah. Just far more of an aggressive driver in terms of where to get the car and what line would be best to make up positions versus, like you said, just really good saving and playing the long ball game, playing the long game.
And looking to also another car making some moves here. The 15 machine of Maverick Davis started off tonight in the second row, kind of fell back a little bit there with the caution and the strategy, but right behind Justin Levine right now in the 11th spot. Good run for him. How about Chad Kibbe hanging on to 9th as well?
Chad Kibbe. We haven't mentioned yet tonight too much. Yeah.
Yeah, we already talked about old Chad Kibbe a whole lot. Kind of Another one of those drivers, it just seems like if there's bad luck to be had, it typically happens to that 45 machine, but go to Strat Toyota Camry, looking pretty solid here tonight in the top 10. That's one good thing about Kibbe, too, is, you don't talk about him a whole lot week to week because he doesn't really put himself in too many bad spots.
Not really. Yeah, things tend to find him.
You see Chad Kibbe now trying to make the move on Adam Benefield here for P8. Benefield up the hill here through 1 and 2, trying to hang with it, but here comes the 45 machine down in the back straightaway. To turn 3, Chad Kibbe going to try to get it down to the bottom, slides the nose a little bit though, but able to get the diamond, get the arc off the corner. Good launch there, but he grabs the bump just the wrong way. Has to pedal it a little bit there to keep it from snapping. Kibbe going to be able to make the pass into 1.
Yeah, very, very close little dosey though there with Benefield. Benefield though doesn't push, almost pushes back to get his spot back immediately, but falls back just a little bit there. Maverick Davis on the outside. Benefield waiting almost up into Davis, stops shy, falls back a second position now.
And what you're seeing right now is just that mixed bag on strategy. We had a couple cars stay out on an old set of tires. We had a couple cars come down and take forward. It was mixed right down the board, and it's kind of what you're looking at here when you look at the standings as it sits right now. PB Henry, though, the first guy on 4 fresh tires right in front of Brandon Pasalacqua. Pasalacqua, though, hasn't lost sight of the 95 machine. That 6 car is looking pretty stout tonight from Iowa.
Wow. Can you name the 3 cars who have not pit yet?
There's not many of them left in the top 10, I can tell you that.
There's the number 10 is
I
the
think
first
it's
one.
Benefield.
It's Benefield. I think that Justin Levine and Keegan Sabilo also count, though, don't they? I don't think that they've pit yet.
Yep, neither one of them pit on that stop.
So they are talk about playing the long game.
Well, what they were setting up there was for potentially another caution to come out.
Yeah. Now that's a gamble. That's tough.
If you get more yellows, spread out, 20, 30 laps at a time, these guys that pit on that first sequence, they could be at a detriment. They could run out of a set of tires here if we get a late race yellow. And these guys that stayed out on this first stop, gave up a whole bunch of time on that second run, look like geniuses.
And, people usually run by the adage that cautions beget cautions, and you tend to see that a lot on tracks, and especially on a track that's a little bit shorter. You might expect to see that a little more often. But we haven't, we knock on wood, we haven't seen that exactly happen yet here. We're on lap 60 here, or just about lap 60. And we are looking at some pretty good pacing right now. Yeah, I said it.
Still looking pretty solid right now, though. PB Henry just not really able to shake Pasalacqua a whole lot. The lead's been sitting there between that 3/10 to 5/10 range here.
Looks like smooth sailing, Odysseus.
What did you just say to me?
I was making a pertinent pop culture reference, a relevant pop culture reference.
First car to pit right now, Levine, bringing the Whatnot Toyota Camry down pit road here.
Okay. Now let's just see when Benefield decides to. Austin Edstrom also hasn't pit.
Levine comes down, takes 4 tires and fuel. Here comes Adam Benefield in the 83 machine. Now, I've heard that getting these tires to last this week to the I think it was the 80 lap mark is really difficult. So
who's going to be able to go 80 laps on these tires?
If Patrick Goder was here, he'd do it.
That's a good point.
That would have been my pick if he'd decided to run here tonight, because I still remember Dover last year Everybody else was having tire failures left and right, and he just he stayed out like I think it was 80 or so laps on a set to win.
Jeez. Jeez. Very impressive. Back out on the track now. We've got everybody doing some cycling, some green flag pit stopping, but the leader is now, well, it has not changed yet. It's currently is still PB Henry. Brandon Pasalacqua in second. Evan Say has made his way into third and is sitting there comfortably.
Meanwhile, Kevin Ruff, Paul Gallimore, Tim Ortman Jr. all coming down pit road here for 4 Tires and Fuel. The 29 machine of Sanchez as well.
Ruff, Gallimore, Warman, all just taking advantage of this this pacing that I mentioned earlier. This is about the best time to take a pit stop if you were going to, because if this just keeps going, it becomes a matter of, well, I got to get it done. But they're trying to make it a stretch. I mean, who's still trying to make it a stretch out here?
You don't want to run the risk of having a flat tire. You also you time these things when you think you're going to be able to get the most advantage over the guys that are on a different strategy.
Yeah,
these guys here that pit on that first set, they're going to have to stay out here just a good amount longer. They came in on lap 23. They're probably going to stay out an extra 23 laps here. You can at least guess that off the nose because they have an extra set of tires that they've already burned through.
And our last two guys who had not pit yet, Austin Edstrom and Russell Black, just finished their pit. Well, Austin Edstrom did. There's Black now. He heads out of his pit just a little bit ahead of Maverick Davis, who is here to pit himself. But now everybody has gotten some fresh tires on finally, and we shall see how it benefits them. Okay, a lot of activity out here on the field now. There's going to be some mixed traffic with the way things have been going unless we get stacked up again. There's going to be a bunch of people who are just coming out from their latest pit lap.
Oh, this is going to be a huge loss of time here for PB Henry. Shane Clore, fresh tires, gets past the 95 machine, kind of throws him offline into turn 3. That's going to allow the 6, the Pasalacqua, to close a little bit. Here comes the 14 machine, Kevin Ruff, trying to get his lap back here as he gets past the 6 machine as well as the 95. And once again, wrong place, wrong time for the 95 as the 14 is down to the bottom of him coming through 1 and 2.
Let's look at this big stack up here right now. Pasalacqua down there. Austin Edstrom with his fresh tires. He's high on the outside. Flies past. He's going to try to make his way up. Gallimore also makes his way past Pasalacqua. Neither of which are for place, obviously, but they are trying to get just ahead of the pack to see who can get the lucky dog position just in case that yellow does come out.
And what you see right there at the front right now, too, is how important those fresh tires are. I mean, you see these guys that just left pit road look like they're basically hitting warp speed as they get past your race leader.
Yeah, cruising.
Tell you what, though, I thought PB was going to be tearing those tires up running the lines that he's been running, but he's done such a great job running a bit more of an aggressive an arc and keeping those right side Goodyear Eagles still intact. I mean, he's running competitive lap times here. Him and Pasalacqua, they've just been swapping lap after lap, which one's better, down to hundredths of a second. Could we have a back-to-back for PB Henry?
Ooh.
No.
That's a spin. Who did the spinning? Let's take a little look here.
This right here is going to pretty much shoot everybody that just came down pit road right in the foot.
Yeah, we did have a few there, and this is going to be, bad timing for them, better timing for everybody else on the field. Let's have a look here. Becerra.
Turn 1, he's on the seam there, and
ooh,
just a little too heavy-footed coming in. Car snapped right around on him.
Well, you know what? At least it was just a single car self spin without even touching the wall.
Here.
Oh, it's going to cook his tires, but
Loose.
oh, and we just I just got word Paul Hill might have just gone around. Was that during the yellow? Oh,
With 76
you're
laps
not
on the
very
board.
funny.
We say we take a little word here, Joe.
Yeah, I like that. We're going to go ahead and take a little break here, folks. And when we come back, more racing here from Iowa Speedway on the OB Builders Cup Series. So stay tuned, please, and we'll be right back.
And welcome back to the OB Builders Cup Series Pioneer 200 from the Corn State, Iowa. Feel in the hands right now, the 95 machine of PB Henry with Brandon Pasalacqua up top, working our second caution here. Lights out on the iRacing pace cars. They work through turns 3 and 4 here, getting ready to kick things off when we load back up into the BK Designs restart zone. iRacing pace car making the descent now as the cars line up here into the BK Designs restart zone. Back underway here. Bit of a late start there, but PB Henry gets a good launch off the line here. Hot Stripe would have about a car length in front of the 6 machine of Pasalacqua. Pasalacqua sends it deep down to turn 1, though, trying to get to the rear bumper to upset the air to the spoiler of the 95. A little bit of contact there, swipes across the bumper. Up the hill goes the 6 of Pasalacqua. Gets a little bit tight now. Pasalacqua sending it up high into 3.
Pasalacqua there. The 6 looking good with the speed on the outside.
And a power move there from the 6 machine of Pasalacqua to take the lead away from PB Henry. Got him a little bit squirrely there through 1 and 2, then shot to the outside and using the outside of the track to slingshot that car up to the point here. 80 laps into the 6 machine on top of the podium.
Well, he's got better tires, and so does Evan Say right now, as he also makes the pass on PB Henry. PB Henry just ahead of Hill and Kibbe as well, though. 2 wide. He's about to make it 3 wide.
Paul thought better of it.
Good thinking.
Got a real smart driver behind the wheel of that 26 machine. Anybody else would have shoved that thing 3 wide, and we may or may not have made it out. But Paul Hill, using better judgment there. Big picture there for your second place in points.
That's right. Things looking very good. A little bit of tension on the field, but a quick sorry about it, and we are back to normal racing.
Sounds like Maverick Davis and Adam Benefield may have came together a little bit further in the back. Not a good corner exit there for the 45 machine of Kibbe, though. Gets a little bit loose behind the 95 machine. Now here comes the 26. Paul Hill working the outside here through 3 and 4. He's going to try and take over the 4th spot.
And just behind them, Alexander Carr makes a little bit of a block there on Justin Levine. Levine now down to the inside. Once in Motorsports driver is going to make that pass there on Alexander Carr.
Side by side down the back straight with Chad Kibbe and Paul Hill still going at it here for the 4th spot. Paul Hill gets a better launch for 3 and 4, though. The outside line really potent there through the last couple of corners. You can just get the throttle down, and he's going to be able to clear him here into turn 1. Here comes Levine up to the back bumper of the 26 machine now. A little bit off center, but Chad Kibbe still able to get a good run through 1 and 2. It's just 3 and 4. It's such a tight corner. You really need all the real estate you can get there. And that's going to hold that 45 machine at bay here. He's going to get choked down on the bottom and lose a lot of momentum.
Wow, and very close call right there. Squeeze. Yeah, you see that? That was really terrifying moment there. Justin Levine able to make that gap.
Levine sitting there 3rd in points right now. Trying to get himself back up here in the championship contention. You see him work the outside line here on the 95 machine of PB Henry through 1 and 2. PB going to fall back a little bit. Knows that 19 machine's pretty quick right now. And Justin Levine up from the tail end of the field up to P3 right now as he starts to set his sights on the 333 of Evansy.
Levine to see right now is a half second off, which is something that he can definitely make up. So let's see how he does it, or how long it takes him to do it here. Now, if you're Evansy, how defensive do you get at this point in the race? He's not going to drive as as
a little bit squirrely there. Brian Johnson got a little bit loose out of turn 4, almost into the nose of the 15 machine of Maverick Davis, but Maverick Davis going to be able to make the pass. Here comes the 1 now of Louis Becerra sitting around the outside of the 4. Becerra going to be able to clear. Lost a spot there to Maverick Davis, but picks it back up. Getting past the 4, Brian Johnson.
Looking really good, Becerra now. Yeah, making it past Johnson now. He's got to make his way up to Maverick Davis. But he's sitting there. He's driving that line. Becerra down across the white line, almost too far there. Wow. Almost unseated the car.
You know,
like you said, you just got to brush it, right? You can't go that far. You can't go too far across it.
You know, I've been wondering for a while, and I'm sure we got it somewhere here, but I wonder what Brian Johnson's favorite band is.
Brian Johnson's favorite band, huh?
I mean,
Brian Johnson. What could his favorite band be?
If it's not AC/DC, I mean, we have a problem here. Am I right? He doesn't like music. He doesn't like music. He doesn't like anything. So, somebody please tell Brian Johnson to fill out the old Grid Vision driver form so that we can know all that we need to know. But I'm just going to assume that is the vocalist from AC/DC there, even though I know it's absolutely not.
Okay.
Brian Johnson putting together a pretty good run here in the top 10 right now. Up at the front of the field, though, pulling away from the field a little bit here. Probably the biggest margin to lead we've seen so far here this evening. Up 0.7 of a second over Evan C. in second place. Brandon Pasalacqua really digging deep and finding some short run pace here, which is not typically what we're used to seeing out of this 6 machine. This is, typically a long haul driver, waits until later in the run to start really torching those tires. But up here at the front of the pack, looking pretty convincing at the front of the pylon.
That's very true. Pasalacqua is a name that we usually do hear toward the front of the race, but usually not till about the last third of the race. That's when we start to see him open things up, start to see him drive him off a little bit. But he's been driving him off a lot earlier on here at Iowa. I wonder if we get a chance to talk to him at the end of this race. I wonder if he'll reveal what part of his strategy encouraged him to be so aggressive early on. If it's just a matter of taking advantage of Iowa's unique qualities, like being in the lead is better than being anywhere else. Where does he get the strategy that says I need to be pushing as far ahead as I can, as early as I can?
I think what it comes down to with that Pioneer Chevrolet is Brandon Pasalacqua just feels confident here tonight, which that could be a deadly blow to the rest of the field when it comes to chances of winning here this evening, because when you got Brandon Passalacqua behind the wheel of a car and he's out there making bold moves early in the race to try and take the lead, then that means that he certainly has something for the field because, he's one of those guys that I talk about. He just kind of rides around. He makes the best out of the situation, gets the most out of the car. If he thinks it's good enough to get up here to the front this early and try to make heavy charges and moves like that, that means on the back end of the run, he's got to have something great. So we see a battle right now for third place. PB Henry up at the top of the hill here trying to get past the 19 Levine.
Yes. Proper battle here. Henry repositioning himself, seeing if he can use the inside. No, I think that he's trying to play the opportunist just a little bit here and trying to find a spot. He's trying to create his own opportunity. But at the same time, he could just be trying to get that clean air. I'm not really sure. It's hard to tell.
And look at the line Levine's running right now too. This is what the kids refer to as being a nuisance. PB Henry trying to get that inside lane to work, or I possibly want to make that top line work. Just any way to get past the 19 Levine. What's his way of defending against that? Well, he's not going to throw a block. He's just going to put the car right in the middle of both lanes here and make you have to figure out which way to go.
Yeah. It's a very good strategy for him, for where he's at right now, and he's making it look pretty effortless.
That's just some of that, there's some people that understand, how to play the air better than others when it comes to this next-gen Cup car, and that cat in that 19 Toyota Camry is one of them. Levine is a really big student of the aero package, and can find different ways to manipulate you to make your car feel absolutely terrible at any given moment of a race.
Right now, folks, we are on lap 100 of 230. Just another 130 to go here at Iowa Speedway. If you're joining us just now here, thank you for joining us here. It's the OB Builders Cup Series as presented by beautiful Grid Vision. We're up here in the booth. Who's we? Well, it's me, Joe LaCastro, with Sheldon Atkins and Austin Derbyshire, our producer. There we are. Look at us looking good. Putting on this show as we do every Thursday, bringing you the OB Builders Cup Series. And right now, we're on lap 101 out of 230, as I just said, and it is a grinder out here. These guys have had some great green flag run, and we just recently got things restarted again. Well, I guess not recently. We got things going now again, and I think that the battles are still continuing here.
Oh, is that Figgy Earnhardt in the production truck tonight?
Figgy Earnhardt.
Yeah, that's Figgy right there. Huh. Or
Figgy Earnhardt. Who's that?
That's Dale Earnhardt's other son, Figgy.
Oh. Well, I'll take that compliment.
I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about Darby.
I like to talk about me. Oh, I didn't even look at Darby's shirt.
He doesn't read anything that we put in front of him. I swear.
I'm not at all. It wasn't written. It was a picture. Pictures don't have words.
This is going to be a long night here, folks. Y'all better buckle up. See, Justin Levine was able to take over the second spot from Evan C. there while we were talking about Figgy Earnhardt. See, kind of professionalism you can expect here from Grid Vision, but that 19 starting to come to life here. Maybe, run that middle lane, not for defense, but maybe because he found something. With everybody working the bottom lane there, over, working those right side tires, kind of building a little bit of extra rubber there with this dynamic track, maybe that top line is going to start coming to play here.
You did mention at the start of the race the bottom line was the way to go, but if honestly they started using more of the racetrack at this point, I wouldn't be surprised. This is a long race, and the effect that these guys have on the track itself could also come into play, right? If we're just leaving tons of rubber down on the inside of the track, moving up to the middle of the track, it might not be a terrible idea.
Basically, the way it works out is you build up a whole lot of rubber in a certain lane, right? So the preferred lane here, down to the bottom, You start putting up a whole lot of rubber down there, then eventually, what's that going to do? Well, that's going to get hot. It's going to get slick. You get down there, you're not going to have so much grip. So what you end up doing is you start chasing, where there isn't rubber laid down. And you see where Levine is, it's dark there from rubber, but it's not as dark as that inside lane. There's a little bit of gray there in the middle. And what Justin's done is he's found that seam with that right front tire where he can kind of just put that car, see it pretty well there on the camera. He can get just that little bit of extra traction by working up, about a half a lane.
It's working. Here we go.
Here we go for the lead. Brandon Pasalakwa down to the bottom. A little bit of wiggle there from the 6 machine. Here comes Levine to the top. Going to lead across the stripe here. Down into turn 1. How hard does Pasalakwa send it? Well, not really much at all. Brandon, always a give-or-take driver. Going to let Levine have it. Knows the 19's quicker now, but from near tail end of the field to the lead here in 109 laps, it's the 19 machine of Levine.
All right. Justin Levine out in front across the line. Looking good on lap 110 out of 230 here. Pasalakwa, though, not done, not giving up the fight. Still very close. We can see there's still a little bit of side-by-side racing going on down further in the field.
We see the 15 of Maverick Davis trying different lanes here as well. A little bit more aggressive than what we saw Justin running up there at the front. Maverick Davis all the way up to the top end of the fresh asphalt here. Trying to get as much grip as he possibly can. Brandon Pasalakwa not giving up, though. He's still within a stone's throw of Justin. Maverick Davis now working the outside lane, though, down the back straightaway. Going to be able to get clear of the 95 machine of PB Henry. Good run here from Maverick Davis and that 15 Team Conti Sim Performance Chevrolet.
Yeah, it seems like Pasalakwa's strategy hasn't changed at all. It's still to try to race for the front, hold on to that, and just secure the bag as early as you can and run with it. But right now, Justin Levine is throwing a wrench into that plan.
No, he's going to throw the whole kitchen sink at it before the night's over. I can promise you that. Stripe there, 24.797 from your race leader, a 24.717 from Brandon Pasalakwa. Back there in third, though, Maverick Davis, 0.3 of a second quicker the last 2 laps. A little bit of smoke there in front of him, though. I think Justin got loose coming in 3. No, we had a car into the wall there at the tail end of the field last lap. We're going to have to take a peek, figure out who that was. Thinking it might be Causey. We got one car almost around the front straightaway, though. Shane Clord sideways coming off of turn 4, chases it all the way down to the grass. Able to keep the thing pointing in the right direction. He's battling right now. That's the battle for 19th or 18th place as Gavin Ruff gets down to the bottom here into turn 3. Gavin Ruff trying to work the inside lane there to get in front of the 72 machine. The 72 hangs on the quarter pound here through the front straightaway. After 1 and 2, that top line's been so strong. As we look back towards the front, though, Maverick Davis knocking on the back bumper, your leader. He's able to get past the 6 machine of Pasalakwa.
Let's go on the way back machine and take another quick look.
Here's what happened with Joseph Causey a few moments ago. And that's just a miserable feeling, man. Start the race before you even get 15 laps into it. You get disconnected for internet issues and go out there trying to make up laps and end up backwards into the fence through 3 and 4. You see Maverick Levine putting pressure now to the Maverick Levine. Sorry about that, guys. Don't read 2 screens at the same time. Maverick Davis starting to put pressure to the back of Justin Levine here. Congratulations to those two. Happy couple. Right aboard with the 15 machine here, tracking down your race leader down into turn 1. I like this line that Davis is running here. He's keeping clean air to the nose, getting decent momentum up off the corner, and where the real difference is he's sending it just a little bit deeper in, backing it, kind of parking the center, then getting the drive off. And this is good for now, but I don't know if this is going to be sustainable long term.
Yeah, you think it's gonna shrivel up on him at some point here? Like, how many laps do you think he's got left in him? Well,
One thing I know, the more aggressive you are with the brakes, the more temp you put into the tires. So the hotter the brakes run, the hotter the tires are going to run. The more you push that brake pedal, or the harder you push that brake pedal, the hotter that brake is going to be. So I'm thinking that he might end up burning him if he's not too careful, especially running in the dirty air here. Levine's going to make this a difficult pass. You know, these two get along well. They're friendly with each other. But when you're on track, these two are two of the most aggressive cars in the field week in and week out. And, you know, they don't give anything to anybody.
no, they really are. They demand just enough though that we get we get a hell of a show every week.
Oh, down to the bottom here in a 1 and 2. Here comes Maverick Davis. Is he going to be able to get stuck on corner exit, though? A little bit of a wiggle for the 15. Not going to be able to get the drive off. That allows Levine to get ahead. Back into 3. Davis working the bottom again. I think he's probably trying to cool those tires down a little bit now. And Maverick Davis signals out the window. Going to bring the 15 machine down pit road here for 4 tires and fuel. See how this works out for him. Going to go for a bit of an undercut here on Justin Levine. Got to be careful, though. It's a tricky pit road to nail here. Easy one to mess up. Good entry.
You got it? He got it.
Yeah, he nailed it. Couldn't have done much better there. You know, one thing I'm really liking that I'm seeing up here in the booth right now, too, is how much the groove has widened out. I mean, I've talked about the dynamic track surface update multiple times this year. I've talked about the new CAD models and everything, the aero, how much better it is than what it was years past, because none of it ever worked. iRacing's absolutely hit the nail on the head, though, when it comes to this dynamic track, because, you know, if we had fresh pavement all the way up to the wall, these guys would be all the way up to the wall.
I'm glad that these updates have made the simulator even more simulaty. And may given it that taste of the real world.
Brings me to my next point. ISC, please just pave the entire radius of the corner. Give us that wall line again at Iowa. It was so good back in the day. They used to run this place, Joe, you'd have one guy, you know, he'd be all the way down just about to the infield hot dog stand. And you'd have another guy up there. It looked like he was running in the campground. He was so close to the fence. And they'd meet in the middle every time.
That's amazing.
It was like a mini auto club.
A mini auto club. Whoa, what a property here. Oh, Keegan Sabilo now down pit road. Ooh, with a bit of a slide. Catches himself barely. Probably doesn't avoid. I think he avoids the black flag.
Yeah, Keegan's having a really good race, and the strategy just fell out of his hands there with those 2 cautions coming out when they did. Run aboard Sabilo here. Ups down to 3rd gear to get down pit road. Hits that bump. Man, that thing should have hit the barrels. Great save there.
Back out here. Watching some people on pit road right now. Benefield's down there. Sabilo's down there. But they're both about to pop back off.
And Benefield going to come out back onto the racing surface here. Machine of Alexander Carr going to come down pit road here for his 4 tires and fuel. We'll go the back bumper about Benefield and that. Right there, that's the difference between the tires. Now look at the marble buildup there on pit road. That tells you how much these guys are sawing through these tires here. When you see marble buildup like that at the bottom of the track, that means we got a abrasive surface and a tire compound that is not happy about it.
Really grinding it up, really chewing them up. $100 laps left.
Yeah, time really flies when
We're
you're
down
having
to
fun.
double digits. Yeah, those last 30 laps just flew by. Got some cars calling out pitting. That was a great car.
And Beneville able to get past the race leader here to get himself back into contention. Points leader came down pit road there. The 6 machine of Brandon Pasalakwa coming in for his pit stop. Also the 95 machine PB Henry. The front of the pack, though, still Justin Levine, Evan C in second, and third place is Paul Hill. Right now, with Pasalakwa on pit road, Paul Hill is probably crossing his fingers and praying, and heck, maybe even doing a dance here, hoping for a caution. Well, not anymore, as he comes down pit road for his 4 tires. But he just wants any opportunity he can here to get as many points over that 6 machine so that he can move back up to the top of the pole here in the standings.
Well, during these green flag pit stop cycles, a lot matters on timing. And I think we're going to have to see where his timing lands him. Where everybody's timing lands him, actually. Let's see.
Big thing here is a situation like this, everybody's got a pit, so just don't make any mistakes. Now, the thing that I'm worrying about for Levine up here at the front of the pack, he's staying out as long as he possibly can. He's stretching this fuel tank as far as it go, trying to, hope for either a caution or B, to potentially be able to cycle maybe a pit stop out of the sequence here, which is a good call. It just depends on how much time you're going to lose here, though, to these guys that came in and got the stuff a little bit earlier.
Oh, we got some more pits here. Number 14 now heading down. That's Ruff. Kevin Ruff now. Oh, sideways. It's Carr.
This is going to be a caution. Yes, it is. Like Alexander Carr went around there by chance. I think it was the 18 machine. Yeah. It's hard to tell with the petty paint schemes.
Yeah, that's what exactly with the double petty paint schemes.
Went around it. It looked like Sanchez may have got caught in it too in the 29 machine. Oh, the 8 machine, Kenny Powell just gets tight in 3 and 4 up into the quarter panel, sends Alexander Carr around, and nowhere for Sanchez to go. Just kind of gets clotheslined.
Yikes! Bad move for Kenny. Wonder what caused that there. Yeah, just to lock up on the exit.
Just so handling Carr. And a rough aero position for Kenny to be in, too. Had a couple cars in front of him there. Probably took a little bit of nose off the splitter. And, when you're running, near the back of the pack, no disrespect, running mid-pack like that at this point in the sequence, you're on old stuff. Car's not handling well. You see right there, Benefield was getting by, made that a 3-wide situation. I think that maybe he just missed the mark on corner entry there, paying attention to what the 83 machine was doing under him. And just slid up into him, made a little bit of contact, and around they go.
Okay.
There's not much more of a nervous feeling on an oval than being out on some of the oldest tires in the field and all those guys coming out of pit road flying past you. Board here with Kenny Powell again.
Let's see it.
Car just did not turn.
Yeah, he just.
I think that might have been a right front flat.
A flat?
Saw how much wheel he had
so?
in it there. I mean, we were late in the tire sequence, and some of these guys that are running towards the mid pack to the rear of the field. I mean, sometimes they're just burning a little bit more right front tire. The car's built a little bit tighter, and it starts burning that right front a little more. And it looked absolutely like a right front tire flat to me. From somebody that's had one or two of those throughout the years.
Okay, that's fair. You got more experience than me on that for sure.
I haven't blown too many of them, but it's an obvious look in the wheel when it does happen, because you got that thing all the way to the left and you're trying to woe it up, and it just nothing you can do. You get the right front splitter dragging on the track, and it just takes out from under you.
Yeah. Pretty soon, though, we're going to be getting things restarted here on the OB Builders Cup Series. Evan Say and Justin Levine are out in front right now.
And this was a big gain for these guys here, staying out late on that sequence. Grabbed a bunch of guys here on older tires. I mean, from Shane Clore on back, you got guys on older sequence stuff here. Quite a few cars, I think, lost a lap on that sequence as well. A lot of wave around.
Yeah, a bunch did.
Look at the wave around cars cutting around the track here. That led by the 72 machine is Shane Clore. That is your 6th place runner. Pace car making the dive down pit road, field in the hands of Evan C. and Justin Levine. Into the BK Designs restart zone, back underway. Good start here for the 333, but a better start for the 19. Levine able to edge ahead here into turn 1 to take back the lead.
Good restart here.
Maverick Davis breathing down his neck here into 3 and 4. The 15 back up to the rear bumper of Justin. Justin trying to throw a little bit of dirty air onto the nose here.
Oh, look at that. Oh, close call there. Evan Say right there. Chad Kibbe right behind him. Kibbe almost got up into Levine.
Davis showed his nose there to the bottom. Levine let him have it.
Say. Oh, Say makes contact with the 45.
The hill. Be careful getting into the marbles there. Evan does a good job keeping the car under him. Going to lose a lot of momentum here, though, out of turn 2. That's going to allow Brandon Paslock to have a peek into turn 3.
Coming back up the field now. Say's got to go side by side with another car now. He's side by side with the 8.
Based on how well that 8 machines was handling there with the car of Evan on the outside there, I'm furthermore leads me to believe that was a right front tire failure there for the 8.
That's totally fair. Right now, there's Kenny Powell, who is a lap down, but is still charging through the field and trying to hold on to positions if he can. Evan Say trying to make the pass for 5th, though. Just has to get around him.
Here the 3 and 4, Chad Kibbe working the outside lane. 4th place, been a stellar night for the 45 Toyota Camry here. But look at the gap up here at the front. Maverick Davis up 2.8 seconds now and gaining over the rest of these guys. I think he might be just getting a little too much out of those tires right now. I feel like this is going to come back on him pretty hard.
Nope. Say falling back another spot there. I'm just checking on him. Wow. Huge gap still between Pasalaco and Maverick Davis. 3 seconds.
You know, you're not going to see that close really quick. But I got a feeling that's going to start closing here at some point. I can't imagine with as big of a gap there as Maverick has built that he's been too nice to those tires here. The first 15 to 20 laps in a tire sequence are the most crucial, because you really set the tone for what the rest of that run's going to be with this tire package that we have currently. If you're hard on them early, they'll let you know before too long.
Yeah, they kind of start giving up early. If you're hard on them early,
absolutely. Now you gotta baby these things for a bit, especially with the short track tire.
Look at that! Ooh, very very close move there. Pasalock. Oh man, I thought Pasalock. Oh, not Pasalock. I thought excuse me, Chad Kibbe there was in trouble there. PB Henry is there. Medina, Jose Medina is there on the outside, the 24. He's just trying also. He's sort of like in the same position that our man Kenny Powell is in. He's there kind of along for the ride.
Yeah, Medina trying to be that first car lap down, put himself in position to get a lucky dog here, maybe.
Oof, it's going to be tough. He's 3 laps down. Tim Wortman Jr. is a little bit ahead of him, and then we got Kenny Powell ahead of him. But getting out of the pack is a good idea, too.
Well, if he's able to get up here, get up to the front, maybe get past that 50 machine of Maverick Davis, get one of those laps back, a caution comes out, you know, maybe he can stay out, take a wave around, get 2 laps through one sequence, you know, it worked out great for him. It's just a matter of getting there, and also it's gonna be a matter of getting past Maverick Davis. That kid up there at the front, you know, he's pretty aggressive, and he'll run pretty defensive here to try and hold on to the lead, even if it is with a lapper. And that, you know, 3 seconds or so between the two of them, that's going to be really hard to close in. So there's a 4.8 second advantage to your race leader, or to your second place from the race leader. A lot of these guys that had to take wave rounds are charging through. Kenny Powell also on the back bumper of the 24 machine of Jose Medina. And Kenny is just 1 lap down, I believe. So Kenny Powell, as it sits right now, would be your lucky dog.
Looks like that's the case right now. Yep. If we had that situation, but we won't because they are too good.
Joe, why do you set us up like this?
You set us up. I'm just agreeing with you. I'm trying with your setup.
Yeah, we won't get a caution. Come on now. No, those are fighting words up here in the booth. See Paul Gallimore going at it toe-to-toe here with Adam Benefield a little bit further in the back. Oh, a little bit of off-center 3 there. Kevin Ruff trying to thread the middle, not able to get a close, though. Paul Gallimore going to be able to pull ahead here. Here. I wonder if these guys maybe think that there's some kind of magic they can play with the fuel sequence. No clutching in the field right now.
No.
I'm amazed at how big of a lead Maverick Davis has right now.
Isn't it? It's insane. It's a 5.3 seconds now. He's added over half a second since we last checked it. And now, yep, and now 5.5, moving on up.
Maybe these guys are on a different tire sequence or something here. I mean, that is a massive lead.
That is, yeah. How did he get there?
as close quarters as this field has been all race, it's mind blowing. 6 laps difference in the tires here. Is Maverick on the better or is Brandon? Maverick's on 6 lap pressure tires. Okay.
All right, and here we go around lap 162 as we collapse further and further down towards that 230 mark. We're in the double digits here firmly, folks. It's been an excellent race so far. Only a couple of yellows here and there, and a lot of racing action everywhere we look. it seems like there's something different going on but it's across the whole field. It's not all just up front. Up front right now, we have a runaway. But further back in the field, we got some crazy stuff going on. We already got some two-eyed action. Who was that was going two-eyed back there?
So just the one thing that I've really enjoyed about this race so far is just how much the groove has changed since we dropped the green flag 164 laps ago. Those pretty much everybody filtered down on the bottom. Now it seems like any lane can really work so long as you're willing to commit to it and know how to make it work.
True. Too true. It's that commitment that's definitely there, but it's also, oh no.
Oh, is that Chad Kibbe down there on the bottom?
Yeah. Well, that was.
Nope, no, it wasn't Kibbe. Who that was?
Well, right now here, once again, we've got the 14. He was involved in a bit of a wreck earlier, unfortunately.
Maybe the 10 car? Yes.
I'm thinking of the...
Yes. Yeah, it's a 10 machine, Michael Figueroa. Just got loose out of turn 2. Didn't hit anything, though. Good save.
That's good. Phew. That could go a number of different ways.
Through the field right now. Between Adam Benefiel and Spaceman Austin Edstrom there for the 10th spot. Benefiel going to be able to get past the 87 Stanley Tools Toyota Camry there. Edstrom going to work the outside line here through 1 and 2, trying to hold the 12 machine Kevin Ruff at bay. How about this? Good run so far for Kevin Ruff. Been a quiet night. We haven't really talked about him a whole lot. Currently sitting just a couple of steps outside of the top 10. It's been a stellar drive for him here this evening from Iowa.
Yeah, once we started stacking people into the back of laps of this race and having a few lap cars and action from different stops and pit stops, we started to see who got filtered out because of strategy. And the guys who didn't get filtered out because of strategy, I want to give them the major props here right now because they've survived a couple of unexpected pit stops, a couple of unexpected yellows and some long drives. And one of them is definitely Kevin Ruff. That color scheme is impossible to miss. It looks really sharp, really fantastic here. The best one tire in service car, Toyota Camry. So here as he tries to make the pass on Paul Gallimore. Let's see if he can. This is for place also.
Yeah, Gallimore was running pretty good there, but looks like the car is starting to fade a little bit here as we get into the later stage of this tire sequence. A couple laps ago, lost a spot, 2 spots to Benefiel and Edstrom. Now losing a spot to Kevin Ruff as well as the machine of Daniel Wiles. Daniel Wiles has been a really quiet night as well. Been just kind of sitting there around that top 10 bracket, starting to make some big moves here, though, as he takes over the 12th spot from Kevin Ruff. Now going to set his sights forward to that 87 machine in front of him, Austin Edstrom.
Edstrom sitting there looking pretty, but he's got a lot of hungry drivers behind him who are just trying to make some passes. Let's see who's lined up first. You said it was Wiles here. Wiles right now trying to make the move. Oh, Wiles!
Oh, he gets loose out of 4.
Yes.
Great save from Daniel Wiles.
That was terrifying, but we saw it happen live. He was about to go completely sideways, saved it. Really quick there. Good thinking for Daniel Wiles, but it's going to cost him any opportunity he had to make a pass on Austin Edstrom.
Getting on board with Daniel Wiles here through turns 3 and 4. I think he's going to hit that bump right there. See the back end kind of smack down right as it tracks out. Just grabbed it the wrong angle there. Had to tiptoe it. Was able to save it, though, coming into 1. That could have been a huge wreck. Front of the pack, though, right now, sitting on a ridiculous lead. Maverick Davis still running insanely fast lap times. We're in a 24.476 there. To Brandon Paslock was 24.685. Look at the battle right now between PB Henry and Justin Levine. This is the battle for third place. PB going to work the outside lane, trying to get to the rear bumper, but Levine going to shut the door in his face here out of turn 4.
This is all up there for third place, so this is where the action is at for the podium, for a spot on the podium.
PB trying to make something happen here, but Levine going to walk away from him out of turn 4. I think Justin is done saving here. I think he's realized it's go time.
Sure seems like it. He's driving like it is.
It certainly is. These laps are starting to wind down here. Not a long way to go. Sitting with a 9-second lead right now is Maverick Davis. Across the stripe, there's a 24.475 from him. Take a look through the field here. Sitting back there, Levine, 24.592. With all the big moves he's making there that last lap, so has to dig a little bit deeper if he wants to start carving into that race lead. Which I don't think anybody's... If it runs out the way it is right now, I don't think anybody's got anything for Maverick Davis.
No, man, this is a really tough spot for anybody to be in, because trying to make up that gap, there's just nothing to it. It's 9 seconds now. If this runs out, even if he goes in and pits, he's got such a fantastic advantage. He's going to be in a great position. And if you look at the track, if we had a track map we could pull up, I would show you that like almost half the map is still uncovered. There's plenty of room here on the other side of the track for a pit stop to go really well for Maverick Davis. So yeah, the universe, everything's coming up Millhouse.
Yeah, it's over a straightaway now between first and second place. PB Henry just signals out the winner, though. He's going to bring the 95 machine down here for service. Also at 6, Basilakwa comes down here. We'll move Levine back up into the second spot here. 12 seconds back from race leader Maverick Davis.
Flying around, looking through, and taking a peek at where the action might be here. Let's take a look over on. We got cars on pit road. He just mentioned the 95 PB Henry. He just stopped there. Right now, out in the field, things are pretty cool. I mean, you know what? Things are pretty laid back right now. A lot of single file racing. This has been probably the only probably the first downswing of the pendulum that we've had in a while, in terms of individual battles happening.
Look at this. Look at all the different things that have happened, all the curveballs we've had in this race. Look who's back in the top 5. Second place in points right now, that 26 machine of Paul Hill. I mean, you just can't shake him here tonight.
If we finish things exactly as they are, that would put who back in the lead? Would that put
Paul Hill back at the top?
Paul Hill back
in Levine in second. Oh. But here's the thing, Basilakwa, the first out of this group of front runners to come down pit road. The rest of these guys are going to have to come down. They still got another pit stop to make, so it's far from over here. I'd say this battle between Paul Hill and Brandon Basilakwa for this championship is going to be fun to watch. So we see the race leader, Maverick Davis, coming down pit road here for his final pit stop of the night.
Yep, final stop of the night, 185. This should be about it for most people. If they're stopping at this point, this would be the perfect place to get yourself lined up for the rest of the night if we're just going to go green the whole way. 185, 186 out of 230.
A lot of questions left, though. The most important thing is going to be how important was that undercut for, say, Brandon Pasalakwa? Is that going to be a viable move here tonight, or is he going to lose a lot of time on the back end of the run? As we see Maverick Davis now coming out dead even with your race leader, Justin Levine. So Maverick Davis able to maintain such a big gap that he does not lose a lap on pit road here. That is huge for the 15.
Everybody's still out. Oh, a little bit of passing going on.
We see Justin right now working.
Go on.
You see Justin right now working a 3-second lead over Chad Kibbe in second. Sorry, make that a 4-second lead now. All this just through pit sequence. And the question is, every time that we've had one of these pit runs or these green flag runs go long, right around the time everybody comes into pit, that's when somebody makes a mistake. Are the tires going to hold on every one of these cars here, or are we going to end up with another incident like we had earlier where somebody blows one? Is Justin clutching? He's lifting way early down to turn 1. He's trying to keep these tires alive as long as possible. You see the 6 of Brandon Pasalakwa now get down to the bottom here through 1 and 2. I wonder if he thinks he might be able to make it. I mean, stranger things have happened. And there's one thing I know about Levine after racing with him and against him for, the better part of the last decade. His strategy is always, I'm going to run the thing until it runs out. If he doesn't think that he's in the position to win this thing, he's just going to keep it out there as long as possible. He backed it down very early on that last run. He was on equal set of tires to Maverick Davis because they both came down and pit at the same time. And, Maverick got that huge lead. I wonder if Justin just underdrove the car intentionally to try and keep those right side tires with it to maybe make a long play for the finish. Currently on his 55th lap of the stint. And, we were talking about, people just trying to get tires the last 80 laps this week in the A Opens, the NIS. And we're at lap 55 right now. I mean, that puts us in a window where it could be possible. And also a big part of this, too, is, he's not necessarily playing it for, making it last all the way to the end. He's just trying to give himself a window. Stay out as long as you can. Maybe you get a caution. Somebody has an issue in the back part of the pack. And you get to come down pit road when everybody else has to come down and take a set of tires if they even have a set left. And you come back out with the lead because you're the first car. It's a very Paul Wolf, Brad Keselowski contrarian strategy. But sometimes, man, we see these things pay off with gold. You got two types of drivers out there here on iRacing especially. You got the guys that'll play it 100% by the book through and through, pit at the optimal lap and, don't deviate from the strategy much at all. And you got other guys that, they'll go out there and they'll stay out an extra 50 laps or so, try and make something happen, run it dry, hope for a caution. And sometimes it works. Sometimes, it blows up in their face, but I've been on both sides of that shoe. And I've also been on the side that, oh yeah, we might, be able to make it if we save here. And then, I just choose not to because I'm like, I don't think anybody's going to try it. Then next thing you know, you're finishing 5th place because 4 guys in front of you decided they were going to stay out as long as possible. And it's, a car that was running 15th all day that goes on and wins it. Absolutely. Think about what the car. Think about what the car running third might be able to pull off here. With the final set of pit stops over and done with here, 30 laps remaining. We're going to go have a quick word from a couple of our sponsors as we are experiencing a couple of little technical difficulties. We'll be back to bring you the rest of the racing action here on the grid.
Hey, we're back here with the OB Builders Cup Series, and we've got a little replay we want to show. Justin Levine having a bit of a dust-up there during our short break. Let's take a look and see what happened. Oh, yeah. Let's, why don't we describe what happened there? Because it's not, I don't think it's going to be coming up here.
Yeah, about 2 laps in a row there while we were under the break to fix the technical difficulty. Justin Levine just completely struggling to get down pit road, missed the pit entrance twice. And that's going to be a huge loss of time for him, and that's pretty much going to send him packing when it comes to a chance at the win here this evening.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that loss, that's going to be what a shot in the foot, too, in the last 30 laps. Here, especially. This is the kind of thing where these last 30 laps are now the most crucial 30 laps of the race are happening right now. And to have that happen, that's just going to cost you too much time. It's just going to seal your fate for the rest of the race.
I mentioned it earlier, how important it is to make no mistakes here at this track. Because any small, mishap is going to cost you so much more time here than it would anywhere else. Then you couple that in with just how difficult it is to get down pit roads on these late runs because of how much heat you got built up in the tires and how much marble there is on the bottom now. And that's just that's going to be pretty much insurmountable for Justin here unless he gets a caution.
Go ahead. Let's see if we can get eyes on that situation real quick. We can catch the moment that he missed pit road there.
We got a couple moments that he did.
That was it.
No, that was the proper.
Oh, that was a nailing it.
Go back either 1 lap or 2 laps there because both of them he had the same issue.
Yeah, you could tell on that entry, too. You could tell that he was really like, I got to get this right. I've got to nail this entrance.
And there he is with the traffic cone on the pit board that he's had for, ever since Darby did the first paint scheme for him, I do believe.
All right, let's get eyes on him here. He's going around.
Look how fast he's going. Oh, my Lord.
Wow,
yeah,
he really figured out how to speed through there.
Comes down. You see a little bit of lock up there. Car wiggles. Chases it, not able to get the car rotated enough, and he did that twice there, and it's a huge blow in time. But all that's going to do here is it's going to hand that lead right back over to the 15 machine. Maverick Davis now with 4, make it 5 seconds over second place Austin Edstrom. I'd like to know how Edstrom got himself up in second place there. Has he pit yet?
It's a good question. I do not think so.
Edstrom opting to stretch it out here as much as he can.
That was him during the first half of the race, too.
78 laps on this set of tires and fuel. This is going to be interesting.
He'll make the most of it. I'm sure that he will make the make it work for him. Now we're down to the last 20 laps, so it's working hard. Oh, what a snap
there goes the
there!
right rear. Edstrom loses the right rear coming into turn 1, backwards into the fence.
Was that a blowout?
It was absolutely, Joe. That was a right rear tire down coming into turn 3.
Incredible.
And the bad luck season just continues for Edstrom. It has been such a rough year.
What the heck? Oh my goodness.
And that car is junk now.
This car looked like it got hit by a bolt of lightning.
See him right here, just
slammed up to the outside wall.
limping it down into the pit entry here. What a rough break. If it can go wrong, it has for Edstrom this year.
Yeah. Oh man.
Poor
He's a
spaceman.
great driver. And it feels like, I mentioned the Wheel of Fortune earlier, it's just spinning against him.
Got Val for second right now. Evan C going at it with your points leader, Brandon Pasalacqua. Pasalacqua going to take over the second spot here over Evan C as they work down the back straightaway. Brandon is flying right now.
Absolutely is. And in the meantime, let's see Pasalacqua. That battle is quickly dissolved a little bit, but up at the front we got Maverick Davis, who is still doing well. It looks like Jose Medina. He's just making room for Jose Medina to make a quick pass there on him. Not for the lead or anything, just letting him around.
Another thing to note, Austin Edstrom, we just saw him blow that right rear tire, heavy damage to the right side of the car. Comes down pit road, throws on 4, brings it back on the track, so no give up for driver number 87 here tonight. See how that works out for him.
You love to see it. Yeah, good stuff.
Up in front of the pack, it's more or less business as usual. Maverick Davis up the front. Remember, won Sonoma a couple weeks ago. Been a really good season for him here in the OB Motors Cup Series. Pasalacqua, your points leader, P2. Third was Evan C, but Adam Benefield's going to take over the spot here as he gets past the triple 3 through 3 and 4. Evan's starting to feel a little bit of struggle there with those tires as he gets later in the stint. How about this, Becerra? Back up to the 5th spot. Controversial week at North Wilkesboro a couple weeks ago between him and Paul Hill, and currently they're running 5th and 6th, respectively. It's crazy how that always works out in the long term. See Paul Hill working the outside to get past Evan C. Evan going to give it up to the 26 machine, up into the top 5 now for Paul Hill. Great points day for him.
Really good points day. Yeah, very close to being... Like we mentioned, if he finishes in 4th, there's a very good chance that he'll be back up in the points lead.
Well, no, because Brandon Pasalacqua is up there in front of him right now. He needs, Pasalacqua's got an extra race on him.
That's true.
With the suspension at Indy, so he's going to need Pasalacqua to have a struggle week one of these weeks, and for himself to just go out there and run good.
That's right. 10 laps left to go, folks. 10 to go here in the LB Builders Cup Series.
As we call it,
bringing it home, Iowa Speedway.
As we call it, a glimpse of the projected standings there, and it is still going to be Pasalacqua sitting just a little bit up there above Paul Hill on top of the pylon. But how about this, man? Pasalacqua, it's consistency week in and week out, and that's what we're seeing out of this 6 team. That's why he's been just so deadly all year. He's a top 5 car week in and week out. If he doesn't have a good car that week, you can expect to see that car sitting somewhere, in the mid section of the top 10. Never see him, tear it up, go out there, make mistakes, just give and take all race long, and it always pays off.
That's true. Just give and take is a great way to put that driving style. It's a matter of reading the situation and being able to say, okay, you've got this position, you've got this speed, but then when it's time to complete the other half of that, when it's time to take a little bit, he knows exactly when to put the foot down.
This has been a great night for him. Great season. Up at the front, somebody having just a way better night than anybody. 12 seconds worth. That 15 machine of Maverick Davis. I mean, I don't know where he found the pace here in this next to last stint, but he has just blown the doors off the field. You see him trying to get past the 87 machine of Austin Edstrom. Edstrom trying to fight, though, to stay, where he is lap-wise. Looks like he's not really giving it up there to the 15 machine.
I wonder if he's going to let them by in these last 6 laps.
Oh, Maverick Davis does have a 12-second lead, too, so, these lap cars, they're racing each other for a reason here. Every point matters.
That's true.
When you
Everyone
got the leader
matters. That's
sitting
why they're
there
still
with
out there.
got leader sitting there with a 12-second gap, he's not going to get run down anytime soon, so you kind of throw a little bit of caution to the wind. Keegan Sabio, though, coming off the corner here, side by side with PB Henry. Big wiggle down to the bottom of the track here. The battle for 6 starting to heat up here as he work into 3. Unfortunately for Sabila, going to drop 2 spots there as he gets passed by PB Henry as well as Daniel Wiles. And for him, this is going to be a night of what could have been, Started out high hopes, good qualifying run, and a couple cautions, thrown curveballs on the strategy, and then since then, that 77's just not been able to climb through.
It's just not quite, yeah. '19 of Justin Levine sitting there in 5th now, just a little bit ahead of Paul Hill.
Imagine how much further ahead he would have been if he'd been able to make it down pit road.
Oh, wow, yeah.
That's one that's going to be kicking him in the tail for a bit. That would have been a podium run at least. But 3 laps to go, sitting in 5th place. Decent rebound drive as you see the car of Alexander car stuff it in the fence there out of turn 2.
Yeah, bounces right off the wall as Becerra makes the pass there. Becerra himself sitting in 4th after a fantastic drive here. With 2 to go in tonight's race. I think we're going to be coming down to the white flag here very shortly. Maverick Davis will be taking us to it. And that's it. Here comes the white flag. We got 1 more lap to go, folks.
And how about this for a drive, man? Go to a road course, 15 machine, one heck of a battle between him and Keegan Sabila. Was able to get the win at Sonoma. And here we come through 3 and 4, and it's been a dominant drive here, reaching deep and just pretty much pulling out the belt and cracking it over the field. It's going to be Maverick Davis winning here at Iowa. And I have never, it's been a while since I've seen somebody pull away that much, especially here in the OB Builders Cup Series.
Yeah, that was a far and away an unusual finish for the OB Builders Cup Series. It was something that we didn't expect at all going into this. Neither of us said, "Oh, Maverick Davis." That wasn't how we pictured this going. But after PB Henry fell back a little bit, and after Levine's 2 bad attempts at the pits, a lot of which happened in the middle of Maverick Davis dominating things. It was just a strange race all around.
Well, I mean, here's the thing with Maverick Davis just putting as much of a hurting on these guys as he did there at the end. Even if Levine doesn't miss pit road those 2 times, Levine wasn't catching them.
No, he would never.
When Maverick Davis dove down pit road, it was about a 12-second lead between him and second place. Levine was a little bit behind second. So Levine wasn't going to close that much time if he'd pit with him. Stayed out late, hoping for a caution, which inevitably forces you to kind of give up time.
Yeah, it does.
And it was just Maverick's race to win, man. What a drive out of that 15 tonight.
What a drive for sure. But you know what? The Team Birdie fastest lap of the race went to Evan Say with a 22.805. Very, very, very fast there out of the 3.33. But it was Maverick Davis in the 1.5, the 15, who drove across the line with the win. Brandon Pasalacqua in second, Adam Benefiel in third, Luis Becerra in fourth, Justin Levine in fifth, Paul Hill in sixth. Justin Levine in fifth, Paul Hill in sixth, Daniel Wiles in seventh, Keegan Sabilo in eighth, PB Henry in ninth, and Paul Gallimore in 10th.
Oh, and P11 is going to be the 14 machine of Kevin Ruff. Great run for him this evening. Chad Kibbe, great night from Iowa, is going to end up with the 12th place finish over Shane Clore in 13th. 14th place going to the 25 machine of Greg Carr, with Alexander Carr coming home 15th. 16th place here at the stripe is going to be driver the number 333 machine, Evan C. This is a night of what could have been here for Evan. A lot of dominating pace at the start and just kind of slipped through his fingers with strategy. 17th goes to the 8 machine, Kenny Powell, with Austin Edstrom rebounding after the flat tire at an 18th. 19th goes to the 4 machine of Brian Johnson, with Michael Figliera running out the top 20.
And let's round it out. Tim Wortman Jr. in 21st, Mark Sanchez 22nd, Jose Medina 23rd, Russell Black 24th, Joseph Causey after an unfortunate disconnect in 25th, and Joshua Hyatt in 26th. That's going to round out the field, which means now we get to kick back, relax, and talk to a few drivers up here in the booth. We are going to have some chats with the top 3 finishers here, and we're going to kick things off by talking to Adam Benefiel, finishing 3rd place here. Adam, can you hear us okay?
Yes, sir.
Hey, all right. What a drive, my friend. This was a bit of this is a track that we gave you a lot of credit going in, and it paid off by the end of the race here, man. You came out with a podium finish. You had a fantastic drive. You know, what is it about the short track that appeals to a driver like you?
I don't really necessarily think it was a success or anything, honestly. Just kept the tire situation tonight and the laps, when everybody pitted that first time, it was going to put you in a box to where you had to really be. Hang on one second.
It's all good.
Sorry, I had a kid in the background being really loud. But it puts you in a box for the rest of the race, and so we were trying to play the tire game to where we were sitting pretty on the back end, and just can't get through a green flag pit stop without someone wrecking. So that's all we needed. I mean, there was parts of the race where we're on 25 lap older tires and running the same damn lap times as the leader. So yeah, I don't know. I guess they just got fucking lucky tonight. I don't know. Sorry for cussing, but it was a frustrating night.
That's all right. 25 cents into the swear jar for you, my good man. That's all that we charge here on Grid Vision, of course.
First time it's been said here.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd never heard that on the radio here at all. But it
you
sounded
said
like
it
yeah, it sounded like it was a bit more of a challenge maybe than I expected for you. What was the what is so if this was a bit of a challenge for you, what happens when we look a little bit ahead at the schedule here? We've got Iowa this week. Next week it's going to be at let's see, where are we going next week? It's the Spear and Solution 200 and 260 laps of what track?
Richmond.
Very good. Okay, Richmond next week. How do you feel about Richmond?
Yeah, I mean, pitch strategy's right. It should be ass kicking.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
All right, that's what we like to hear. Who do you want to shout out to today, or thank you for your podium finish?
Just everybody at TCSP. Congrats to Maverick. He had the pitch strategy of what we were trying to play. What helped so much, we put Brandon in a box, and when he had, I think Sheldon realized it and figured it out when he had that 6-second lead. That's what we were building towards. The caution fell right for him, and it didn't fall right for us. So that's what we were building towards right there. The strategy that won him the race. So congrats to him. Glad he was able to get it. Just everybody at TCSP, Conti. I had Conti kind of crew chiefing me tonight as we was talking through everything, and yeah, just it's a great car, and didn't really get to show it on for the 83. I'm glad, like I said, I'm glad Maverick won. You guys for broadcasting it. I love Grid Vision, and got some big things in the work here in the future. Looking forward to it. Big thanks to Gridcast Technologies. Their stuff that they're coming out with is pretty freaking badass. So keep your eye out for that. But yeah, we'll take it on the chin and probably sound like a freaking crybaby right now the way I'm doing this interview. But this one kind of stung. I love this place. This is a track that really gels well with me. I just hate that third place really sucks. And but we'll move on to Richmond.
All right, my man. Well, I hope that you guys get a better chance to show off your skills and you get a more powerful finish for yourselves next week.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, Adam. We will hopefully talk to you then. Everybody, that was Adam Benefield. Adam, take care and have a good night.
You too, brother.
So I'm going to pass the microphone over to Sheldon Atkins now after sucking to Adam Benefield a little bit. And Sheldon is going to talk to second place is Brandon Pasalacqua.
Well, it's always good hearing from old Father Time, Adam Benefield himself, but currently sitting here side by side with our second place finisher, Brandon Pasalacqua. After, man, I swear, I bump into you. We need to quit meeting like this. We need to get you over there talking with Joe after one of these things, man. But what a stellar drive you had here tonight. You did exactly what I expected. I knew it was a tire wear race. I looked down there at the end of 30 laps, and I see that 6 machine moving. Just tell me, man, how much do you love coming to a track like this? Because it seems like it just always prints points for you.
Yeah, definitely. No, it's fun to race tracks like these where you have to really manage the tires. But here it's a little different because I think your tire life is really only 50 laps, and if you try to save any more than that, you're losing too much time on the front end. So for me, yeah, tire saving was great, but to be honest with you, Sheldon, I just wanted to maximize 50 laps at a time, and so that's what the strategy was here today. I didn't do as good of a job as Maverick did on those last 100 laps, but still did a pretty good job overall, and it was definitely a blast to run here.
So I'll take it that's what it came down to when you made that big move early in the run after that restart, take the lead from PB earlier, just trying to get as much out of that first half of the run.
Yeah, definitely. And I just wanted to lead one damn lap, Sheldon, and PB wouldn't let me have it. So I was overly aggressive on that restart there. And I had put enough time in this week, luckily, I know what my pace was and what my tire wear would have been at the end of 50. And so I was comfortable with setting the pace and seeing what happened. So it was a good run. I don't get to run up front. Well, I don't get to lead very often. So it was good to be up there, and it's nice to have clean air for sure.
Well, you inherited the points lead last week. This week, stellar drive brings you home positive, ever so slightly over Paul Hill. How are you feeling about that championship battle between you and the 26 here as we get later in the season? Because, it feels like if I look at your car and I look, or look at his car, one or two cars back is going to be the other one. It's like y'all have been attached all year. How close do you think it's going to get when we come down to Homestead?
Yeah, it's going to be. I think it's going to come down to who makes the least amount of mistakes. I think that's what the story of our seasons have been. I mean, even with Evan and Justin as well. I started off the year pretty hot, whereas those guys had misfortunes, and then it's been kind of the middle of the season is where I had misfortunes or errors on my end, and then everyone else clawed back up, and Paul did a fantastic job during that stretch. And so you're right, if he finishes first or second, I'm sitting there 5th through 8th and vice versa. So yeah, it's gonna be a good battle, but at the end of the day, Sheldon, the only thing I can do is control what I can control, put as much work in as my schedule allows. And the biggest thing for me these last few weeks is just to run my race and not get caught up in the points deal. That stuff will take care of itself by the end, and I'm sure it's going to be fun, and it's going to be much more than just many more people than just Paul and I by the year end.
Well, it was a stellar drive here tonight. A lot of things that work here at Iowa work where we go next week when we go to Richmond International. I remember last year the tire wear was pretty dicey when we went there, just like it was here tonight at Iowa. What's the mode of attack next week?
Yeah, same thing here. Same thing as this week. Just manage what you can, manage your race effectively and try to maximize your stints. Yeah, tire wear won't be as bad as it was today, but it's definitely something that we'll have to manage throughout the run. So looking forward to that. I'm sure we'll have some stiff competition. A lot of people love racing at Richmond. So again, if I can come out of there with a top 10, that would be fantastic.
Well, Brandon, round things out here tonight, because I'm sure you're worn out at this point after 230 laps at this place. Who all do you want to thank and shout out for the podium finish this evening?
Definitely want to give a shout out to my sponsors, First Form and OB Builders Door and Trim, but a huge special shout out to Pioneer. as you probably saw with Brian and my car today, we had the corner on the side, and Josh Schaffner does a wonderful job and works with Pioneer, and has for years. And so they've been a tremendous support for our team throughout the years here on the service, and they're the title sponsor of this race. So huge shout out to them and everything they do to support us. And if you see farmers on the road, just make sure you're cautious and you're mindful when driving by them, and it doesn't hurt to say thank you either. So huge shout out to Pioneer, huge shout out to everyone here at the league. It was a good race today. It's been a great season so far, and a shout out to you, Sheldon, and Joe and Darby for a fantastic broadcast.
No, we appreciate it, buddy, and look forward to seeing what you bring to the table next week when we go to Richmond International, which is my favorite home, my home track as well as my favorite track. But I'm gonna head on over here to Joe LaCastro with our race winner this evening, old Maverick Davis.
Thank you very much, my friend. And now we are up here. Maverick, can you hear us okay?
Yeah, what's going on, guys?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Probably not as good as you, though. Man, what were you feeding that thing for those last 130 laps?
Man, I tell you what, when you got the right crowd in your ear telling you which moves to make, and when to go, when to give her, when to chill out a little bit, man, it's a world of a difference.
Yeah, wow. Okay, so you had a good spotter this week, sounds like.
Yes, sir. I definitely can't thank Mr. Kevin King and Zach Ranker enough. They, both of them, bouncing ideas off of each other's head. When should we go in? How long should we stay out? How fast should we be going? Just made a world of a difference. And we also got extremely lucky with how the cautions fell tonight. So definitely just played our cards right and got lucky with how everything went.
Absolutely, my man. Yeah, very, very good lineup, especially for those last 72 laps that you led. There, you finished the race about 12 seconds ahead of the next closest car. So yeah, whatever strategy you guys were cooking up in there, it was working all night. Iowa was, or definitely at least for the second half of the night, once you got that restart under you, it felt like that was the moment you needed to really unlock all of that strategic potential, and you really, it really played out for you over the course of the race. The second half of the race, no one could get anywhere near you. But now here you are, here in victory lane, and aside from the good advice in your ear, what else do you think really worked for you during this race tonight?
Well, I will say this. When I joined the session tonight, I saw track temp was about 10 degrees hotter than what we had experienced and closer to like 20 degrees hotter than NAS. And I was like, okay, well, I know from experience of preparing for this week and the races that I've done that I definitely much preferred the hotter track than the colder track. So just getting set on what pace I needed to run was a big help, and the races that I've already run this week have definitely played a big part in knowing how hard to push the car at what points, and definitely just, the set Mike built for us this week is just so insanely fast, extremely competitive. That's been the key, man. I guess all the people that I'd have to shout out for this hot rod tonight is literally Mike putting the set together. I got a lot of help from Adi with the with saving tires this week, and Zach, like I said, Zach and Kevin tonight, just with the call in the box, when to come down, when to hold the cards, when to play. That's just the biggest thing.
All right, yeah, fantastic. Your whole team really came together tonight, and you've already got the shout outs. Is there anyone else that you wanted to shout out to or thank while we're at it?
Absolutely, dude. Why not? I gotta say,
yeah, let's hear it.
I gotta at least say hi, Dad. I know he's at work right now. He's probably gonna be watching this here in a little bit.
Nice.
He'll shoot me back a text and be like, "Damn, son, he really got him tonight." And just ecstatic with this. As this was a really fun one. Love this track.
Heck yeah. All right, Maverick, thank you for your time up here. And, well, before we go, really quick, how are your prospects looking for Richmond?
Well, I know we're in the process of getting a bad fast setup out. I know I really love Richmond as it is, and just, I don't know, definitely looking forward to it. Try and get another one. I don't know if it's gonna play out like it did tonight. It'll probably be a closer one. We just gonna try and keep our head down, man. Keep working.
Yeah. Excellent. We expect great things, man. We expect great things. You take care and you have a great rest of your night, okay?
I appreciate it. You as well.
All right, Maverick Davis, everybody. The 15 car comes across first place tonight. Wins it all here at Iowa Speedway. Looking good while he does it with the help of his friends. What a fantastic finish here. Really good way to end that race. Really good race overall. Sheldon, oh, man, I'm feeling pretty good after this one. How you feeling?
Man, it's just complete whooping there from Maverick Davis. I mean, 12 seconds a gap at Iowa in the OB Builders Cup Series it's just profound. I don't think I didn't think it was going to be that far of a walk-off from any point of the race here tonight, and just got to give congrats to Maverick, too, because I know how much he's worked here in the last couple seasons to get better behind the wheel, and, I mean, you just got to see all that on Showcase here tonight. Took where he was running about fourth, fifth the majority of the night and just found an extra gear there at the end. And outside of that, man, OB Builders Cup Series puts on such a great show, especially when we come to these short tracks. I mean, if we were coming in on us tomorrow, I guarantee you we'd probably have 10 cautions. We had, 3 tonight? Just incredible stuff. Always looking forward to covering these here on Thursday nights, and I am so excited when we get to go back to the best track in the world. We get to go back to the action track, Richmond Raceway, next week. So be sure to tune in for that.
You got it. You heard it first here, folks. Richmond next week for the OB Builders Cup Series. And it's going to be race 24 out of 36 as we continue to climb towards the end of this series. The championship is on its way. Let's have some fun. Let's all enjoy the beauty of this beautiful hobby. And from everybody here at Grid Vision, folks, we want to thank you for watching and participating in the chat. For more information on getting your league broadcaster supported by gridvision.live, that's us. Contact us on Facebook, Discord, or info@gridvision.live. Special thank you goes out to Andrew Cardinal IV of Whiplash SimCam, who provides the beautiful cameras used on all of Grid Vision's broadcasts. And congratulations once again to Maverick Davis on winning tonight's race from Iowa Speedway. This has been Joe LaCastro, Sheldon Atkins, and our producer, Austin Derbyshire. And hey, we'll see you next time on the grid.